My butt's numb. Yeah. Oh, that's too damn pretty not to get somewhere. Looking that way towards the mountain. Oh, yeah! Good morning, Oakley Outdoors. I'm your host, Brandon Scott, and with me today is going to be my father. He is in the bathroom at the moment. But today's adventure, we are east of the Cascade Crest. We are in north of Cleelum, heading towards Mount Stuart. We are parked at the Esmeralda Basin Trailhead, or the Esmeralda Trailhead. There are 3 trails that lead from here. The Esmeralda Basin Trail, which goes west up towards Gallagher Head Lake, which you can also drive to via a 4x4 trail, and hopefully I'll be doing both the hiking trail and the driving trail at some point. That would be sweet. That is the Gallagher Head Lake Trail, and the Van Epps trails are some of the trails I've been wanting to do the longest, drive with Rex. There's also one of the more popular trails on the east side of the mountains. It starts here, the Ingalls Way Trail, which takes you 10 miles out and back to Ingalls Lake, which is where like 90% of the traffic goes. This is one of the few spots on the east side of the mountains where you will find a nice big developed parking lot that can probably hold 30 or 40 cars, and it does fill up. And like I said, like 90% of the people are going to Ingalls Lake. And then the last trail is the trail we're doing, which is the Longs Pass Trail, going up to Longs Pass. So why are we doing Longs Pass instead of the other 2 trails? Well, this one is going to be the closest high pass along this ridgeline that'll give us full frontal views of the entirety of Mount Stuart from the creek all the way up to the top. I've been up here before. I've done the Ingalls Lake Trail before. I need to do it again with family and friends to delete bad memories. But the Longs Pass Trail is a pretty good trail. I haven't done it yet, but most people, like I said, most people go up Ingalls, and I don't really want to go up Ingalls. I'm saving that for another day. So this is just going to get us nice up to a pass to stare at Stuart. Let's go talk about the books. So, being in the area between I-90 and Highway 2 Stevens Pass, we're going to be in the Alpine Lakes Wilderness area, or at least the hikes will be covered in an Alpine Lakes hiking book. So, number 55, Longs Pass, round trip 5 miles. I think it's technically actually 6 miles, but it depends on where you want to stop along the pass. 3 hours, high point 6,300 feet. You're gaining 2,100 feet. And that's the view. The tallest non-volcanic peak in Washington, Mount Stuart. It is a very popular climbing destination. It is a very pretty mountain, and we're on the east side of the mountain, so we're going to be walking through different forest. The first mile and a half is in this gorgeous dry upland forest, and then after that we get into the alpine zone, and it's open and hopefully lots of flowers. So let's go hit it. Leaving Rex there in the shadow of a nice big sunny peak, and heading up this direction. At the Esmeralda Basin Trail to begin with. It's about a quarter mile up the Esmeralda Basin Trail, and then that trail will hang a left and continue up valley, whereas we will hang a right and go up the... Yeah, horses are allowed on pretty much all the trails around here, so you may find them at some point. But yes, we will hang a right and follow the Ingalls Way Trail up for a mile before it splits with the Longs Pass Trail. Big beetle. Slow moving hunk of chunk. There's a sign up there too. Huh. So, Esmeralda. I'm turning right. Esmeralda Basin continues on straight. At some point I will do that hike and I'll post that there. But we are going right up the Ingalls Way Trail to to eventually the Longs Pass Trail and up to the tippy top of Longs Pass. Hi ho, Silver, away. And we will be leaving Esmeralda Creek behind. Schnur! Oh my god, there's some schnur over there. Schnur. If I was a good boy, I'd look up and tell you what pointy peak that is, but I'm not a good boy, so I don't know what pointy peak that is. Won't take me very long. I'll just have to put the camera down and get the phone out. So far, this is a pretty good grade, eh? Looking up west into the Esmeralda Basin. Lots of open rocky peaks. We are out of basalt country. We didn't get really into basalt country, but we're also out of Plain Jane Volcanics Company. This is all weird mishmash of exotic terrains and layers upon layers of rocks with all different kinds of ages, as this became the great train wreck of rock for the last 100 million years. There's all kinds of good stuff happening in here, including a breeze, which is nice. Yes, Dad said earlier when I finally looked it up, we probably could have guessed, but that is Esmeralda Peaks. So, yeah, we're along Esmeralda Creek in the Esmeralda Valley with the Esmeralda Basin going up that way. Of course, the big mountain looking over the whole valley would be Esmeralda Peaks. You know, probably could have figured that out without looking at the map, but here we are. I remember this is the east side of the mountains. When we say we're in forest, it's not thick, deep, dark, wet forest like on the west side. This is going to be open parkland forest. And we're at high enough elevation to where it's not really going to be much ponderosa pine anymore either. It's going to be firs and spruces. And when you do find a rare permanent waterway, there'll be some cedars mixed in too. But lots of open underbrush, short ground cover in the form of huckleberries and other ground cover plants. It's very open. Pretty. I believe it's a species of...
I can see everybody.
I believe it's a...
except for the bear.
Species of penstemon. And then of course...
I asked for critters.
You got lupin and lots of ground squirrel holes. I've seen a couple of them already, but as we get higher and higher up, we should get more and more wildy flowers. That's just quality. See? The Cascades are gorgeous, even on the east side. Lots of pretty. Lots pretty. Yeah. 2 bears already this summer. I think that's the most bears I've seen in a summer hiking, not including going to Yellowstone or Glacier, outside of a national park. Yeah. That's something Sabrina really wants to do. She's like, you keep talking about seeing bears and huckleberries and mountaineer. I want to go see one. Yeah.
I thought it would have been too late, but
Yeah, I would say one of the times we did Skyline was in the fall, and we saw it on the backside coming back down near 4th Stream.
of course people down below us. There's bears down there. Yeah?
Yep, shut up. We want to enjoy it.
You know what they're doing? They're eating the fucking berries.
Yep. Nope, they don't care about you. They're grubbing on berries.
They're doing the berry thing.
They are too busy grubbing. It's late enough in the year to where the babies aren't defenseless. Mama don't care no more. She's grubbing. So, Ingalls Pass is going to be the low dip there. Hey, there's a ground squirrel right here. I hear you. I hear you, little one. Right there in the shade. There he is. Picking up a bunch of dry grass for nesting material. Oh, he's in the shade, stuffing his face full in the shade of this really big clump of grass between us. Yeah. Yep, not where this lupin is, but the next clump. There he is. He's coming towards you now. I hear somebody coming down. Yep, there's somebody coming down the trail. So yeah, Ingalls Pass is there. Oh, there he goes. Of course, I try to start talking and he scoots again. Pretty, pretty. And the butterfly. Trail sign. So Ingalls Way goes up to the left and goes up over there to Ingalls Pass. We're going up that way to Long's Pass. And we're about to lose our forest and gain our open meadows. At some point very soon, we will come back and do the Ingalls Pass Trail to Ingalls Lake, and I will post that video there when we do it. But today's adventure is up and to the right. I'll have to remember to get a picture of the sign on the way back, since I am rolling video on the way up. Pretty flowers. Pretty flowers. Lots of pretty. Lots of pretty shiny rock too. Oh, breeze is magical. Make sure you pack your sunscreen, folks, 'cause as you can tell, there is not going to be a lot of shade when the sun gets overhead. That's a big, large tree. That'd be pretty in the fall. Looking. Pretty little white flower. Shiny rock, shiny rock. That direction, the head of Esmeralda Valley and the Esmeralda Basin Trail. Back that way is the rest of the Tiana Way, and eventually you'll jump over that last ridgeline and drop down into the Cle Elum River Basin, into Cle Elum, Roslyn, Ronald, and Salmon Lasac. And you can't see it right now, but just that direction over this ridgeline is Big Mount Stuart, one of the more famous mountains geologically in the world for all the studying geologists come to do in this area, trying to figure out what in the actual hell happened here. A lot, and it's confusing. Some of the smartest rock minds in the world are still baffled about how all this could have happened when it did. If you want to learn about some of that, I will shamelessly plug my favorite professor from college, Nick Zentner. He's got a YouTube page, and we started really hard on it during COVID because obviously he couldn't go and teach in class, and he was a bored and productive mind, so he started running lectures out of his backyard. He would set up his iPhone on a tripod,
and he's a very good professor. He has lots of props and stuff and explains sometimes very difficult and complex topics in such a way that anybody can understand it, and I mean anybody. Lots of locals would show up to his classes to learn. So yeah, he's been doing it ever since COVID started, and he hasn't slowed down at all. He's got lots of series on lots of things. Is that I see a fleck of white coming out. That can't be a cloud, that's got to be Rainier, eh?
Yeah.
So we're getting there. Higher we go, the more we get to see. But yes, shamelessly plugging Nick Zentner. Go watch his videos. They are addicting. He does them as a live stream at a set time, and then afterwards he'll post them to YouTube so you can watch it whenever. Usually has about 1,000 to 1,500 people watching the live streams, and it's truly a worldwide audience. Obviously a lot of people from the Pacific Northwest will watch. I watch as much as I can on time, but he gets a lot of people from Western Europe, a lot of Australians, and even sometimes we'll get people in Asia and parts of Africa tuning in. He's got that much of a reach. So he's been doing it for a long time, and he is very good at it. And you can see Mount Stuart. It's kind of the landmark for the college Nash and I went to, Central Washington University, where he's been teaching since the late 90s. And a lot of his live stream series, he'll have a topic. Oh yeah, that is a beautiful shot of Rainier with the cone, with the Columbia Crest crater. But on his talks, he'll talk about a specific subject. Also, we'll have a series, and it'll be over a broad range of things. Like a couple winters ago, he talked about all the exotic trains that came crashing into here. And each video, he'll talk about a specific part of it, and he'll get someone who's actually a true professional on it, a geologist or a physicist or somebody who's actually written papers and studied and has knowledge of it over the last 10, 15, 30 years, and he'll have them come on. It's kind of like a TED Talk or a podcast, but in a teaching setting. It's really cool. I think that's enough shameless plugging for him. And we will continue on our upward march to the top of the ridgeline. Getting there. Mountain coming out there. But upwards we shall wander. Getting a lot of whatever this flower is. I have no idea what it is. I'm sure I will look it up and tell you the name there. But as of now, I have no idea. That's a cool shot with the tree blocking out the sun. But let's walk for a bit with no talkie-talkie and see what we can find. Quickly running out of trees and vegetation of all kinds. That guy. And lots of lupin. I think Shmew could have done this. Wouldn't have been super fast, but I think she could have done this. And no, the rocks are not wet. They are serpentinite, highly metamorphosed rocks. They're just that shiny from the getting metamorphosed deep down in the belly of the earth and then coming back up. They are just that shiny and smooth.
He's missing out on all the pretty wildflowers.
Yarp. Missing out. That thing there, whatever that is, that's pretty as hell. And then more of it in the sunshine. Yeah. Lots of lupin, which is Dad's favorite flower, is Das Lupin. So get him up tall on a lupin hike and he's a happy boy. some quality serpentinite. That is what I'm talking about. Look at the shiny on that. And how green it is. That is a quality piece of serpentinite right there. Oh, on all sides, everything. You got the cross section and the other scaly side. That is the good. That is the good. No, not under the bush. I want you out where everybody can see you. Where you can be spotted and enjoyed. No idea what this white rock is. Oh, it's granite.
White's granite?
It's some sort of volcanic rock. Granite or a rhyolite or something.
I think one maybe like a rhyolite.
Probably. Well, Mount Stuart is a batholith. I think it's a rhyolite, or not a rhyolite, but a granodiorite, but that's on the wrong side of the ridge. So that's right, YouTube. I am a rock boy at heart. Eventually you will have to deal with rock content, whether you like it or not. If you don't like it, go find something else. But I am enjoying my rock content. Yeah, that's high alpine fern of some sort. That's cool.
Another big one over here.
Well, the whole frickin' chunk.
And they got
All the moss on top of it. That's something else we need to go do eventually. Is go out to some of the public land out in the middle of the basalt country, in the middle of the desert, out along the Columbia, and go and pick up somebody's research paper and go glacial erratic hunting. Ice Age flood hunting. Because there's somebody Nick was talking about 5 or 6 years ago, went up and down the Columbia between Wenatchee and Ellensburg, and GPS marked where all the erratics are and what the rock type was, and then said how far it had to come from, because it was usually coming from central British Columbia or northern Montana or something. It's a long ways away. Here, bear. Here, bear. Here, bear. One of you. Right there. There is a PIKA right there. And those are Clark's nutcrackers you hear squawking in the background. Should have zoomed the camera in, but that's alright. Halfway decent video is better than no video.
Go down there and stay.
Alright, I'm going to turn this off and get some phone pictures, hopefully. Go. Got the camera zoomed. Oh yeah, you can totally see him. Right there. Oh yeah.
What the fuck? Try again. God damn it. Now your truck is still there. Just stick it in a different order.
Yeah, when you hit resend, it redos the order.
Is that him chirping?
No, that wasn't him chirping. He hasn't moved. That was something else. That's a bird. Maybe a marmot further up? Although it doesn't seem like there'd be enough big grass for a marmot up here. My favorite is tiny little fat.
Picked her head back up.
And we're gone. Alright, I guess we shall move on. Hello, mountain. But as you can see, the trail and the roadway, old decommissioned roadway, took different paths until now. Now we're around, I don't know how long it's been since this roadway's been in use, but I'd be guessing at least 40 or 50 years. But we're on the, it's probably an old fire break line to get to the top or something. Oh, I can see some of the Cascade Crest Mountains. I think that might be Lima. I don't know. If I can get service and reopen my Peak Finder app, I can tell you, but Obviously that's Rainier. And then just on the very edge of the slope there, Adams is poking out. And we're getting up there. We are getting up there. My phone won't find it. I'll try again, but it's weird. Yeah.
Downloaded fully onto my phone.
More.
That's something else. Oh, is the fishing app that she can have on mine is there, but she's never downloaded it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're going up somewhere, hoping to find something. Bunch of pikas yapping at us, a couple of switchbacks back, but we couldn't find them, and they stopped talking before I could get the camera out. So, but onwards and upwards. Pins galore. You got Adams coming out even better. Obviously, you got the big hunk of chunk that is Rainier. You got a bunch of those mountains. I did look it up. I do have service, so I was able to open Peak Finder. That is the snowy stuff on the right once I get over here so where you can see it and not staring into the trees. But the snowy stuff on the right is Summit Chief, and then on the very left, just poking out, is Lima Mountain. So all kinds of good stuff going on. Still no Mountie goats yet, but I'm sure those will be coming. Go stand on the spire, Dad.
Huh?
Go stand on the spire right there.
Yeah, I was gonna leave that for you and Ash to do.
Yeah. That's some really dark serpentinite. Erosion resistant too. There's a even better spire over there.
Sticker.
Uh-huh.
Little sticker upper.
Not much further, we're almost there. There's a lot more trees up here than I thought there'd be. Probably. But yes, we are sweaty, but that's because it's warm. But I mean, this isn't a killer hike like the books and Washington Trails Association website say there was. I just got buzzed by a hummingbird. Hello. Come back, I am friend. Yeah, I see Chippy in the trees. Yep. Bail, bail, bail. But I mean, this isn't super hard. We're not going fast. We've probably been on the trail for 2 hours now. We're just sauntering along, enjoying ourselves. It's not like we're trying to... Yeah. So back on crossing the old road again. Some pretty flocks, I think, or a variety of flocks. But yeah, I mean, if you're not trying to kill yourself going up the trail super fast, it's only taken us 2 hours and we're almost there, and we're not super out of breath. It's nice. It's definitely enjoyable. Yep. Yep. Enjoying all the green vegetation and all the aminals. Ooh, some big baby blue daisies over there. Just taking our time enjoying things, as you should. Only saw one other person, and that was anthill. Ooh, anthill. Yeah, anthole. But yeah, we only saw one other person, and that was before we made it to the split in the trail, so he could have very well come from Ingalls Way and not Long's Way. So we shall see. I'm betting we're about to get a view of Stuart. Oh yeah, there's the tip. Yeah.
There are keys. All right, we turn around.
Any second now. Ah, wilderness boundary sign. It's not a wooden one though. There goes a nutcracker. Yep, peace out, Cub Scout. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hello, gorgeous. How I have missed you. National Forest Wilderness. I don't hardly ever see those signs. Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
Some extra orange peel for you.
Nice. Dicks. National Forest Wilderness. HEP protect this wilderness area by not operating motorized vehicles, including snowmobiles, within it. Wilderness Act of 1964. Blah, blah, blah. So, yes, a lot of these trails you can ride motorcycles up in the summer and snowmobiles in the winter. But once you cross over this, and cross down into the Ingalls Creek drainage, it is wilderness area and you cannot ride. But yeah, that is pretty goddamn good, if I do say so myself. That is one hell of a mountain. So at some point, probably set up the camera in this shady spot right here and shoot the long exposure looking there. And I'll post that there. But as of now, we will chillax and hang out. Because hell yeah, that's what we came here for, was this view. It's going over there to get a more unobstructed picture. But I believe, yeah, this trail, if you want to go down, you can follow the trail all the way down to Ingalls Creek way down there, just zigzag on down. Yeah. You should be able to zoom your phone out. Yeah. He's learning YouTube. I'm going to come stand over here and get a shot of my father with the mountain, because that's going to be the thumbnail right there. But yeah, and then stick my nose over here. And yeah, head on down that. That looks sketchy as all hell. We're going to come over here, stand on this bit there. So there's the trail eventually. So somewhere between there and there, you got to come up. That's a little sketchy even for my liking. But yeah, it'll go down and meet up with the Ingalls Creek Trail down there somewhere. And the Ingalls Creek Trail starts way over at Highway 97 on the north side of Blewett Pass and comes all the way up and goes up and over, I think it's Stuart Pass or Ingalls Pass. I'll have to look up my phone or a map and tell you for sure. And then on that side of Mount Stuart is the famed Enchantments. If I'm nice and quiet, you can hear Ingalls Creek down below. Well, going from there to those switchbacks look like...
That's why I stopped right here, because I'm not going that way.
That does not look very fun. But yes, if you want to, you can also just go walk the ridgeline that way, because there are more hikes that way. You got Iron Peak, I think Bear Peak, Navajo Peak. There's like 4 or 5 more hikes that get up to this ridgeline between here and Blewett Pass, about 10 miles distant that way. And then there's only one more that direction, and that's Ingalls, and takes you to Ingalls Lake. But I don't see any mountain goats yet. But yeah, this is pretty sweet, and this is a pretty good day. We'll go set up the camera, I guess, and take a long exposure. Oh, there. That is a good shot. Grab a hikey stick. Say bye, Stuart. Bye, Stuart. We think we see a couple of mountain goats hanging on the cliff, hanging out over on the cliff face over there. Yeah, probably 2 or 3 of them. But it's time to vamonos. One last look at Stuart, and away we go. It is, what time is it? Approximately 12:15 on the dot. So it took us roughly 2 hours to come up. Hung out up top for about 2 hours. Horsefly. And depending on how much we get distracted, probably take us an hour and a half or so to go back down. And then I told Dad about all the sandstone monoliths in the Teanaway Community Forest. So when we get back down, we'll go check that stuff out, because that's really cool. And that's what was one of the inspirations for Nash and I starting this YouTube channel, was because we went up there one day to go check it out, and oh my god, this is cool as hell. Hung out on top of one of the big ones for like 2 hours chatting, and we went, it'd be cool to take a video of this and just listen to us chat about stuff, and with Mount Stuart in the background. It was like I don't know, like an April day or something, so Mount Stuart was still covered in snow and such, but yeah. So that was eventually one of the inspirations for the channel, and we haven't been back since, so I'll have to finally rectify that. I do have plans for going back there and cataloging a whole bunch of the rocks, but that's like when the mountains are too cold and snowy type deal, but that gets enough snow in there to where you can snowmobile and hopefully snowshoe and ski too. So again, it's on the list of things to go to a lot, but there's just so much stuff to go see and do that it's hard to go do it all. So I think I'll put this away and take a short of us walking down. Looks a little steeper and more intimidating when you're going downhill than going uphill. Could you imagine driving up and down this road? That would take some skillful driving and some big cojones to get up and down this. Oh, Mount Rainier. Ow! I think a fly got me. Trail zigzagging and zigzagging and zigzagging all the way down, because the parking lot's like right down there somewhere in the creek bottom. Please, tiny fat, come out. I love you so much, friendship. Come on out. I ain't gonna harass, I just wanna see. There he is, there he is, there he is.
Gray rock.
Mm-hmm. There he is. There you go. Yes, YouTube, we will forever harass. There he goes. Heard our noises and kicked it into high gear. Yes, they are very fast when they want to be. But this is where they like to live. Find a nice big scree pile high up in the mountains. Odds are there's some pika hanging out in it. Alrighty. We have just passed the junction with the Ingalls Pass Trail, and we are slowly but surely coming back into thicker forest and more vegetation. So fairly soon we will be back into the shade, which is fine. I mean, we weren't too hot, but the breeze has been up the whole day, so we were pretty fine. But the sun itself hasn't been too terribly hot compared to what it could have been. And now it's the middle of the day, we might get more wildlife moving about, even though conventional wisdom says they like dawn and dusk to stay out of the heat. Who knows? We shall see. Yeah, I see that. Well, when it's not midsummer, it'll be shady. Yeah, it is. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of lupin. Perfect time for lupin. Shade! Shade. Shade. The camera will look up at the lupin in the grass. It's kind of amazing how as soon as you get back to the trail junction, it flips the switch and it's grassy. But yes, as we are losing elevation, it is steadily getting warmer. Well, there is the intersection with the Esmeralda Basin Trail, which means we've got a less than a quarter mile left. So I suppose I better run my outro. Thank you for joining my father and I on this Cooley Outdoors adventure where we did the Longs Pass Trail to Longs Pass and get full frontal views of Mount Stuart. This has been a good trail. Ratings, let's do ratings. Accessibility. It's paved most of the way, but the last, I think it's like 10 or 12 miles or so are on dirt, so you're going to be spending about 20 minutes or half an hour driving on dirt, so that hurts it a bit. But this is a very popular trail with a very nicely developed and large parking lot, so it's still, the road's still going to be kept in fairly good condition. So I guess I will give 3 stars of accessibility because it is a 2-hour or so drive from Seattle. Difficulty. Yes, we went up 2,000 feet. Yes, we did do 3 miles, but it never felt truly painfully difficult. So I think I'm going to give that a 3 stars. And enjoyment. No, we didn't go to Ingalls Lake. We went to a lonely pass. Uh-oh, father is watching something, probably a squirrel. Slow down and go slow and go quiet. Chippy chippy. Pretty little chippy chippy. Yep, pretty little chippy chippy. So, yeah, we didn't go to Ingalls Lake, which would have earned it a 5-star, but we did go to a lonely pass and didn't see another soul practically all day, especially not while up there for 2 hours. So enjoyment, I'll give it a solid 4 stars because we got to see the tallest non-volcanic peak in the state right there in front of us. You couldn't get any closer with better views. So yeah, 4 stars. So, and lots of wildflowers are out, lots of cool stuff's out. We saw PIKA. We think we saw mountain goats from a distance. Didn't see anything else on the trail, but on the drive-in we saw deer and turkey. So this has been a very good day. Ooh, some purple daisies. I think when we get back to Rex, we're gonna go goof around in the Tianway on the sandstone a bit. But as for this video, I think that's gonna be it. We will, there's also gonna be a separate video for when we did some off-trail ridgeline wandering up there at the crest of the Wenatchee Mountains. That's what the ridgeline is called, by the way. I figured it out finally. It was what I thought it was. The Wenatchee Mountains, which run all the way from the Cascade Crest to the Columbia River. Go from high mountains and glaciers to deep desert. Logs your springboard? Huh? Logs your springboard in?
Yeah,
that looks like a better spot in there. But yeah, that looks pretty damn good. We're just fantasizing about swimming holes. But yeah, there'll be a separate video for our ridgeline walk. But otherwise, we will see you next time. Ciao.